Hello, I'm the Cartoon Gentleman, bringing you organized chaos. Tell me, did you want to see an episode of MLP where they just completely blatantly rip off another episode of MLP, just with a different character? You didn't? Well, neither did I! But they gave us it in Season 7, Episode 3. Flurry of Emotions. The episode starts off with Twilight Sparkle talking to, Nurse Redheart, exclaiming that she's going to read stories to the kids who are sick and ill. So, just doing generic 80s stuff then, huh? And if you don't know what I mean by that, just watch any episode of Power Rangers. They're always doing something generically good for everything. But, no time for that now, as Cadance and Shining Armor literally pop in on Twilight and say that she needs to take care of their baby while they have some time off for once. And I do have to admit, I do love the fact that Shining Armor is still having that seizure-inducing headache of his. But, once again, Cadance just kind of looks there. Just there. Sad it is to say, Cadance is one of those characters where her entire civilization could be on fire, and she'll just be like, meh. Just watch the world burn. With a smile. If you want to see more on the issue, just go watch Silverquill's video. So, Twilight decides to go ahead and take care of the baby, despite having a busy schedule. And of course, there's a plot device in here with that snail toy. You gotta remember that. That's important later. And of course, Spike reminds her, yeah, this isn't the best idea. Especially when you already have plans. But of course, being generic good guy, Twilight agrees to watch over her niece. Dumbass. We then take part in a montage which I can only describe as cuteness overload. Seriously, pull back a little. The audience can't handle this much cute. You maniacs! So many bronies are going to die from heart attacks. You have to tone down the cute! So after Flurry Heart and Twilight are done tying your heartstrings into a knot, Spike reminds the audience, as well as Twilight, oh shit, I have things to do today. So she has to rush around and go to the store in order to pick up all the things she needs. Now, according to my watch, it's 1/2 time for shit to hit the fan. Indeed, everywhere Twilight brings Flurry Heart, she manages to get into trouble and make a mess of things. Or, in Shirley's case, clean things up.
Just write it up again with my mouth.
Shirley brings up a good point. She wrote that entire thing with the chalk in her mouth. You know, how come Twilight doesn't rewrite that? Wouldn't it make sense? I mean, she is kind of a scientist. Of course, they are kind of late. Let's see what the married couple is up to.
And this one reminds me of Flurry too.
How so?
It's small, like her. I can't do this anymore.
Ah, okay. So they're going through the dilemma of everything reminds them of Flurry Heart. Yeah, I can see how that's going to end well. We also get a cameo from Pinky in this episode. Well, that's nice, and oh my god, it's the terrible devil children from hell! Now it's time for the evil hellspawns of hell to go up against the child of a divine horse. Let's get ready to rumble!
Hey, follow me low. Down, follow me go. Hey, follow me low. Down.
Well, at the very least, we get some continuity with Pinkie Pie's Batcave. So, at the end, Twilight finally manages to make it to the hospital to read to the orphan children. Oh, I'm sorry, the sickly children. But, to be fair, we never see their parents. Now it's time for that plot point from earlier to take effect. You know the one. The snail toy disappears, and Flurry Heart wreaks havoc in order to find it. To the point where Twilight ends up being the bad guy somehow in this, and tells Flurry Heart to knock it the fuck off. Well, if you just discipline your child properly, she wouldn't be having a fuss because she lost her toy. This is Cadence's fault. But then Twilight realizes, oh shit, I shouldn't have yelled because I apparently wasn't paying enough attention to you. Because I didn't have enough time to spend with you. Which I guess is a arguably good lesson of the day. Then again, the polar opposite is also true. Maybe Cadence and Shining Armor spend too much time with their kid. So at the end, we see Twilight and Flurry made up and they're all playing in Twilight's castle when Cadence and Shining Armor return to pick up their kid. And Twilight reiterates the lesson I just told you about. That was Flurry of Emotions. Which, it was okay. Though it is impossible to not draw attention to the fact that this episode was already done in previous seasons with Pinkie Pie and the two twins. I mean, yeah, I get it. We gotta have Twilight and Flurry connecting at some point. But did it really have to be a repeat of the episode that we already saw? Because that's all this was. A repeat of an episode that we already saw. I liked that episode then, and I sort of like this episode. It's just meh. So I'm the Cartoon Gentleman, and I brought you Organized Chaos. What, were you expecting something grand? If the writers are going to be half-assed, then I'll be going to be half-assed.